Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. So glad you guys could join us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and on X. Going to go ahead and connect with our friends over on Instagram so they can be a part of our conversation today, and Amazon as well. Have a returning guest that's joining us today for our broadcast. You guys know her as Melissa Banks or the Melissa Banks, depending on where you guys know her from. And you guys are live with us on Amazon Live. So glad you guys could join us on the Amazon platform. If you guys are new, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button either here in this corner or down below. You also will see the books by our next guest, master event planner, best-selling author, entrepreneur, media personality. Melissa Banks is back with us. She also is the co-host of a show you guys saw here on Amazon Live, Word That Is Lit By. Going to talk to Melissa about her very busy start to the month of May, what she's been doing when it comes to her books, her classes she's been doing for event planning that I get to be a part of, with the social media connection coming up. And she has the fourth annual Imagine the Possibilities event coming up as well. I'm going to let you guys know all about that and how to stay connected with her. Melissa, how we doing?
Doing wonderful. It's always a pleasure to chat with you, Cyrus Webb.
Melissa Banks, it always is a pleasure. You always make me smile, Melissa Banks. I always look forward to this time with you as well. And if you guys have any questions or comments for Melissa, make sure you guys put those in the comment section. I have it open on all the platforms. Melissa, busy start to May for you. So you've been busy, for those who don't know, teaching your classes, helping out those who either want to be event planners or want to bring their business to the next level. You've been in this season of your new show, the Melissa Banks Show. You've been gearing up for other things when it comes to like your conference, Imagine the Possibilities, and what you've been doing with your Dream by Design brand. Talk to us about how this year's feeling for you.
Wow, it's a lot happening and it's a lot of exciting things. I feel excited and energized. I mean, it really kicked off the 1st of March and it's just kind of been going nonstop since then. But
Yeah.
it's been amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's been great to be able to watch. I think, for anyone out there who's been staying connected with you, Melissa, it's very obvious you're very passionate about what you're able to do. May's an interesting month, and Melissa didn't know I was going to bring this up, but but May is recognized for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Get Caught Reading, which fits because she has books, including her book, Do I Really I Need an Event Plan? I'm going to highlight for you guys over on the Amazon side. She also has some inspirational journals, but it also is Mental Health Awareness Month as well. So, Melissa, I want to talk to you about how you've been able to balance it all because I think for a lot of people, it's easy for them to get overwhelmed when they have different things going on. What's going to help you to kind of keep your center as you've been building the Melissa Banks brand?
I think the key is to be organized. The key is to plan. When I learned how to really plan, I don't mean just sit down and make a list of 1,000 things because that can be stressful in itself. But really coming up with a plan each week. I do it weekly. Some people do it differently, but I do it weekly. But that has helped me so much because I now can see this is where I need to be spending my time and this is what I need to go do next. And I have to give you your props though. One of the biggest changes just over the last month or so was when we implemented the pie strategy in most recent class. That helped me even more because I can see
Oh,
it. It's in front of me. It's where my time is going. And it kept me from being so stressed and overwhelmed. And being able to say, I'm tired, I need to breathe for a moment.
mhm.
That's been also a key. And that's a key to making sure that you stay balanced and on focus is to take those little breaks. I'm not a big break person, I have to admit, but I
Mhm.
do take little breaks just to refocus and get back on track and not feel so overwhelmed.
Love that. And I appreciate you being transparent about that. And you're exactly right. I think, those breaks are important. I take them myself. I've had one today already. It's been one of those kind of days, but I think that is so important. But I want to ask you in connection with that, Melissa, with everything you have going on, all of the different components I listed off are so different. You're an author, you're a speaker, you're a coach, you're an event planner, you're a media personality. All of those hats are different. What helps you to decide where you want to focus your attention?
Well, what is happening? What is happening this week that I need to focus on? Where are my deadlines? Because see, on that sheet, when you create that action sheet, your deadlines and what's immediate should jump out at you, and you know you need to pay attention to that. And it's also about strategy as well. For a long time I was just posting, and I was posting about everything all at once.
Mm.
And there's not clarity when you do that, not for yourself or for your audience,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
So now that I strategized it out, what's happening next? What's the big thing next? And then I begin there and break it down. And it's just seemed easier, even though it's still a lot. It doesn't seem like it because I'm moving from one thing to the next with intention.
Yeah, I love that, with intention. So, Melissa, I think, the reason why I wanted to ask you that, and I know that's a little different than conversations we typically have on this program, but I wanted to do that because I want to talk about how you've been able to segment out and the things you're doing that are brand new. Like you teaching these classes right now for those who either want to become event planners or enhance their businesses. That's a new thing for you that you did starting in April. What has that experience been like for you?
I was so nervous about that, and I've been an event planner for over 26 years. But I was so nervous about packaging it and trying to give some pointers, some direction, some real insight to anyone who's thinking about being an event planner, or anyone who's been doing it but just been running all over the place. So I was very nervous, honestly, to get started. But once I got started and I was getting some response, I felt so rewarded, because now I'm getting to share my other passion, which everything began with event planner. Most people found out about me during this season as an event planner,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so exciting to be able to share back with others, especially a person who hasn't started yet, but they've been wanting to start, and when they get excited. And she said to me in the first class, she says, how can you still be so passionate and excited about something you've been doing for 26 years? And it's because I love it. It's in my core. And now I'm getting to share it. And that's just icing on the cake.
Yeah, love that. We're going to remind our audience of how they can stay connected with you, Melissa, because it ties into your upcoming project. But also, I have it highlighted again for you guys over on Amazon, this book, Do I Really Need an Event Planner? And in that book, this is your first instructional book that you've been able to put out. What was it like for you to have a book that was kind of built on your years of experience as an event planner, Melissa?
Okay, this book was fun, first of all, because even though I've been doing this for a long time, I was still getting some of the same questions. What is it that you do? Why I know how to plan my own events? And I wanted to just take it from that point of view, planning your own events, and why it would be different if an event planner was there. But the fun part about this book is not only highlighting what an event planner does, but also the real life stories that's in here, that things happened that would have destroyed the event or had a very bad outcome had an event planner not been there with a level head and a solution based and making things turn around. So it was so rewarding to talk about those two things together, besides the fact that it was the first time I ever put together something from the event planner platform.
Right. Now, your other books, Melissa, are all about inspiration, motivation. That's what you've been able to do with your other books. I have here the Dream Journal. Our audience can see there. We also have the Dream for Him Dream Journal, which I have. Your first book, the devotional. What has that been like for you to add that inspirational, motivational component to your brand? Because it is a big part of who you are. What has it been like for you to showcase that not only in your books but also in your messaging?
you know um, that part has always been there, but in the gut, right? So now that I'm talking about it openly and sharing what things that I did to push me through, it's very personal. So every book is because there's some words in it that encouraged me during the time that I needed. When you talk about the Dream Journal, it was part of my entire healing process, actually, when I was going through a very difficult season, and I knew that I wanted to share that with others because it was a tool. Writing down how I was feeling, goals and dreams, it pushes me even today to go back and read some of the old journals. So now that I'm able to share that, I just believe it helps so many people not only to push through on those days that you don't feel like you're making anything happen, those days that you're discouraged, and at those times where it's just not a good, doesn't appear to be a good season for you. You get those prompts, you get a place to write in the inspirational journal. and you get those thoughts out on paper, and there's no better healing than to be able to do that.
Such a great thing for sure. Melissa, another thing that you've been able to do is expand on your brand in other ways. One of them is with the Melissa Banks Show. Now, people know you as the host of Dream by Design with Melissa Banks, which was all about mainly female entrepreneurs, but definitely women. Talk to us about what it's been like for you to not only to do the Melissa Banks Show, but also to then be able to expand even with your books and doing things like the Dream for Him Dream Journal, and even creating a Dream for Him Dream Box.
That's been very rewarding. First of all, let's just talk about the Melissa Banks Show. And the reason I'm so excited about that is getting to talk to men and women and hear about their journeys and how they push through as well. With Dream by Design with Melissa Banks, like you said, it was focused on the woman's journey alone. So we only talked to women on that show, but to talk to both and see some of the similarities of the journey and how they dealt with them, and also some of the differences and how they've been able to deal with them as well, and the lessons learned and the challenges. So that's been a real learning experience for me, and exciting, because I was excited about adding the Dream for Him products to our line, because I was starting to get inquiries from men. What about men's scents? What for the candles? And it just led to the other items, because it's so we can have something for the entire audience that wants to hear from us.
Well, that brings up an interesting point that I hope our audience takes away as well. And I see you guys coming over there on YouTube and on X. For those that are just joining us, welcome. You all are watching Cyrus Webb Presents. We're joined today by the Melissa Banks. She's a master event planner, a best-selling author, media personality, and coach. We're talking with her about a very busy May, but I want to talk about trusting yourself, Melissa, because you have been able to diversify your audience, and really what you do, what I do, it really flies in the face of what we're told. Right? We are told to choose one thing. We are told to focus on one thing. What has it been like for you to show that doesn't have to be the case when it comes to you?
You know, when I first started, everybody said that to you. Focus on one thing and get really, really good at that one thing. But what I have found out in my journey and just stepping out now, I'm not really trying to say it was an easy process for me, because, I was scared every step of the way. But what I do believe is when you move in fear, you can achieve your dreams. Stopping in fear is what stops you. But you know what? Each door is meant to open another door. God didn't design us to get to one place and stay there forever, or none of us would grow, right? So
Right.
we're supposed to grow and move to other areas. All the areas that you're talking about were not on any vision board I ever did. They were not in any dream that I ever had. But because I kept moving and was willing to keep moving, more opportunities, more doors came open. And being willing to walk through them is the next step, though, because when you have that opportunity in front of you, if you don't walk through it, then you're going to be stuck. Just think about it, Cyrus. When the pandemic hit, if I wasn't willing to move in fear and do something that was new, my business would have been over in 2020, because I didn't know what to do. So just taking the chance and finding your passions, and it just comes out. And everything that I do, I'm passionate about.
Yeah. And that definitely comes through for sure. Last thing I want to talk to you about, Melissa, is something that's coming up for you, and that is imagine the possibilities. You talk about the pandemic. That's one of the things that came up, I think, after the pandemic was your virtual conference. First of all, what has it been like for you to host your own yearly conference? And this is a side question. Have you been able to give yourself credit for that? Not only did you start a virtual conference, you're now 4 years into it. Have you given yourself that time and space to congratulate yourself on that accomplishment?
Oh, you've never asked that question before, but no, I don't even. It sounds so big when you say. I think this happens. We move through from one thing to the next without really grasping. Because when you just said, it started. Actually, we started right when the pandemic was still going on. That was our first year. That's when we talked about the vision of having that platform. And each year it's been getting better and better and better. And no, you know what? I really haven't grasped that this is year 4 and I'm hosting a vision that was born in me. So it's quite an honor. And we have such an amazing lineup. So we're pretty excited. Aren't you excited?
I'm very excited, but I could tell you seem genuinely surprised by that question.
Uh,
But hey, Dr. Bama, good to be able to see you over there on Facebook. She says, "Hey, my friends, I know she's speaking to me, but she put the S on there for you too, Melissa, so you wouldn't feel left out." That
yeah,
was
I'm
nice.
sure that's what she means.
So that's why the S is on there for you. The S is for you. The friend is for me. But no, I wanted to bring that up because, again, it goes to the bigger point, Melissa, that we, like you said, we don't give ourselves credit for the things we do, but we're so hard on ourselves for the things that we don't.
Mhm.
So, what have you been able to learn that our audience can learn from, Melissa, about the importance of taking that time to reward yourself for the things that you do and to give yourself that pat on the back?
Don't I've learned that don't sit around and wait for someone else to cheer for you. Be your own biggest cheerleader. See there, she put special friend. I knew I was special, Dr. B.
Oh
But
boy.
cheer for yourself. That is one
Yeah.
of the biggest things that you can learn on this journey. Because if you just focus on the work, if you just focus on the things that don't happen, it's going to feel like a heavy load that you're carrying. And you want to enjoy it. Everything you do in your journey of things that you are choosing to do. So enjoy it and take some time to pat yourself on the back. Because honestly, Cyrus, until you just said it the way you said it, it didn't have the impact on me that it really should have, because I'm
Yeah.
constantly busy working it, and not really saying, you know what, great job. This is year 4 for
Yeah.
empowering women all over the world. So I'm
Yeah.
super excited.
Yeah. And this year, not just women, right? I think that's
Right,
the other thing that
right.
really shows the difference. Hello to you, Catherine. Good to be able to see you over there on IG. Hello to you, Art. I think it's pronounced Art Kick. Good to be able to see you over there on IG as well. See you guys over there on YouTube. Thank you so much for being with us. And that's the other thing about watching is what's been so great for me, Melissa, watching you expand on your brand. Yes, you still have your core, which shows other people you can still have your core audience and core product, but it doesn't mean you have to eliminate other opportunities. So you've been able to embrace that for sure and showing other people that they can too. So you have the Melissa Banks show going on right now. You are going to be wrapping up your classes for event planners soon. That's going to be coming up. You have Imagine the Possibilities that's coming up as well. And you have another book that you're working on. What can you tell us about that?
I'm excited. One of the things that, things just transition to different levels. And one of the things that I'm excited about is just helping people who don't feel like they need an event planner, but they still want to do fabulous events. So the new book is going to focus on those tips that you do it yourself event planners want to throw these events that wow. That's what it's going to be about. And I'm so excited about sharing how to make your fabulous event wow like a pro. And I'm really excited about doing that. So that's coming really, really soon.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. No, that's going to do very well. And I should mention, I mentioned that you're a best-selling author. I know that has been one of the things that you talked about was not on your vision board for yourself. I mean, for people who have gotten to know your story, any final thoughts you'd like to share with them, Melissa, about the importance of not giving up on yourself?
If you know anything about my story, you know that my life has not been easy. That I spent over 17 years in a abusive marriage that took my self-esteem. But during that season and that time, I was able to journal. So I still had a dream back here, but I wasn't able to execute it. I actually didn't even have conversations with people who were not in my immediate family circle because I didn't talk. People would meet me and think that I was mute because I wouldn't talk to them. So, but when they meet me today, I'm ready to tell them that that was not the end of my story. My story had a long way to go, but I had to do some things. I had to believe in myself. And when you begin to believe that you have something in you that people need to hear, that's when the magic happens. And that's when you're able to move forward. That second that you can believe that nothing can stop you as long as you don't stop yourself. And that's been the key, Cyrus. Even today, when things are not going good, when I feel heavy and down, I go back to those moments when I just believe in me. I believe that those limiting beliefs that I had placed on myself, that's what was stopping me. Not the limiting beliefs other people placed on me. It's what I had placed on myself. So my mission, my passion, my gut is to make sure others that hear me say that you are your only limit. And when you accept that and keep moving, there's no limit to where you can be.
Again, everyone, Melissa Banks has been our guest. I love that message. She's a master event planner, best-selling author, media personality, and coach, talking with us about a very busy May. Some great things you guys can be a part of, too. And we didn't mention this, Melissa, but you also have your Dream Party Live as well. How can our audience stay connected with everything that's coming up for you?
The easiest way to stay connected with us is to simply go to themelissabanks.com, and there's a link for everything. For you can listen to some of the previous shows for Dream by Design with Melissa Banks. It has the link to our YouTube where all the Melissa Banks shows are. It has links to the conference where you can grab your ticket for the conference, because we have an amazing keynote speaker that we're super excited about. And it's this guy right here that's next to me. We'll be sharing his story and his journey. So I'm super excited about that. But the easiest way to connect with us and know when the next Dream Party Live is happening is themelissabanks.com.
Love that. The Melissa Banks. Dr. Velma says, what a powerful story and message. We appreciate your transparency, Melissa. We sure do. Melissa, always a great time speaking with you. Looking forward to our next chat together.
I always have a great time with you, Cyrus. And when you're so nice as you were today, for the most part, it's really a good time.
I'm nice all the time. I mean, it is my show, so I'm nice all the time. And we thank you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.